Hello, everyone, and welcome to New City Library's National Poetry Month celebration and the culmination of National Library Week. I'm adult reference librarian Karen Ostertag, and I curate the library's poetry collection. For the month of April, I'll be reading a poem a week and sharing where you can find more like it. We'll also be posting short poems and excerpts on our Blue Sky, Facebook, and Instagram feeds throughout the month, so keep your eyes open. Today's poem is Poema de los Dones, or Poem of the Gifts, by Jorge Luis Borges. No one should read self-pity or reproach into this statement of the majesty of God, who with such splendid irony granted me books and blindness in one touch. Care of this city of books he handed over to sightless eyes, which now can do no more than read in libraries of dreams the poor and senseless paragraphs that dawns deliver to wishful scrutiny. In vain the day squanders on these same eyes its infinite tomes, as distant as the inaccessible volumes that perished once in Alexandria. From hunger and from thirst in the Greek story, a king lies dying among gardens and fountains. Aimlessly, endlessly, I trace the confines high and profound of this blind library. Cultures of East and West, the entire atlas, encyclopedias, centuries, dynasties, symbols, the cosmos and cosmogonies are offered from the walls, all to no purpose. In shadows, with a tentative stick, I try the hollow twilight, slow and imprecise. I, who had always thought of paradise in form and image as a library. Something which certainly is not defined by the word fate, arranges all these things. Another man was given on other evenings now gone these many books. He too was blind. Wandering through the gradual galleries, I often feel with vague and holy dread I am that other dead one who attempted the same uncertain steps on similar days. Which of the two is setting down this poem? A single sightless self? A plural I? What can it matter then, the name that names me, given our curse is common and the same? Grusac or Borges? Now I look upon this dear world losing shape, fading away into a pale, uncertain, ashy gray that feels like sleep, or else oblivion. Today's selection was from 100 Poems to Break Your Heart, edited by Edward Hirsch, and it's available in print in the library or on Hoopla as an ebook. It appeared originally in Jorge Luis Borges' The Maker, a collection of prose parables and lyric poems published in 1960. Born in 1899, Argentine short story writer, essayist, translator, poet, and librarian Jorge Luis Borges was one of the greatest writers of the 20th century and is considered the most important figure in Spanish language literature since Cervantes. Author of such works as Ficciones, The Aleph, and Labyrinths, he was known for his metafictions and his surreal blending of philosophy, mythology, and history with elements of fantasy. He arguably invented the hypertext novel in 1941 with his work The Garden of Forking Paths, and he was a key figure in the Latin American magical realism literary movement. Although he only wrote in Spanish, he was fluent in 6 languages. His work influenced such noted authors as Stanislaw Lem, Kurt Vonnegut, Philip K. Dick, Umberto Eco, Mario Vargas Llosa, Thomas Pynchon, William Gibson, and Roberto Bolaño. Borges suffered from a hereditary eye condition which gradually caused his sight to fail, beginning in his 30s. In 1955, he was appointed the 19th director of the Biblioteca Nacional de la República Argentina, Argentina's National Public Library. By the age of 58, only 3 years into his appointment, Borges was completely blind. Since he never learned to read Braille, his mother became his personal secretary, and he went on to serve the library for 18 years, only stepping down when Juan Perón returned to power. The blind librarian Jorge, in Umberto Eco's Name of the Rose, was an homage to Borges. Ironically, Borges was not even the first blind librarian of the Biblioteca Nacional. Director José Marmol stepped down in 1871 after losing his sight, and the 17th director, Paul Grossac, the other dead one mentioned in the final stanzas of this poem, also went blind near the end of his 44-year tenure. About this poem, Borges said, "Little by little, I grew to understand this strange irony of events. I had always imagined paradise as a kind of library, and there was I, in some way the center of 900,000 volumes in various languages. I discovered that I could hardly make out the title pages or the spines. I then wrote Poem of the Gifts." That's all for today. Tune in next week for another spoken poem, and check out our social media on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, where we'll be keeping the poetry party going. Don't forget, you can check New City Library's YouTube channel for lots of other great material from our staff. Take care, keep calm, and read on.